Imagine being a teenager today. You wake up, and before your feet even touch the floor, you're already checking your phone. Someone has more followers. Someone looks better. Someone is traveling. Someone just got into college. And somehow, you're supposed to believe you're doing fine. But here's the strange part. American teenagers don't necessarily think social media is hurting them. They increasingly believe it's hurting people their own age. And when Europeans looked closer at what American teens are experiencing, the reality was far more complicated than they expected. When Europeans think about America, they usually picture the big things: huge roads, huge stores, huge houses, huge ambitions. America has always had this reputation for pushing people to dream bigger and work harder. But there's another side of American life that's much harder to see. It's what happens when that pressure reaches teenagers. A recent Pew Research Center survey of 1,391 U.S. teens and parents reveals a generation caught between two very different worlds. A world where social media can make you feel connected, and a world where the same phone can make you feel like you're falling behind. And that contradiction is where the story gets interesting. Here's something that might surprise you. 74% of American teens say social media makes them feel more connected to their friends. So now this isn't simply a story about teenagers hating social media. For many of them, it's where friendships happen. It's where they share creativity. It's where they see what's happening in their friends' lives. But then comes the contradiction. 48% say social media has a mostly negative effect on people their age, yet only 14% say it has a mostly negative effect on themselves personally. Think about that. I'm okay, but everyone else is struggling. That may be one of the strangest things about growing up online. You can look perfectly fine from the outside while constantly comparing yourself to everyone around you. There's another number that stands out. 45% of American teens say they spend too much time on social media. That's up from 36% in 2022. And many teenagers aren't just noticing the amount of time they're spending. They're noticing what that time is doing to them. 45% say social media hurts the amount of sleep they get. 40% say it hurts their productivity. And roughly 1 in 20 say it hurts their mental health. Now, imagine the routine. One more video, one more message, one more notification, one more scroll. It's midnight. You know you should put the phone down, but the phone doesn't say, "Good night." It says, "You might be missing something." And for a teenager, that feeling can be powerful. But social media isn't the only pressure. Teenagers also talked about bullying, expectations, popularity, appearance, and the pressure to fit in. Among teens who are concerned about youth mental health, 17% pointed to bullying, while 16% pointed to the pressures and expectations placed on teenagers today. And that pressure doesn't necessarily come from one person. It can come from everywhere: parents, friends, school, social media, and sometimes from inside your own head. You look around and it seems like everyone else already knows what they're doing, what they want to become, what they want to look like, where they're going, who they want to be. Except you're still figuring it out. And that's the part adults sometimes forget. Teenagers aren't failed adults. They're people still becoming themselves. Perhaps the most emotional finding in the research isn't even about social media. It's about communication. 80% of parents say they're extremely or very comfortable talking with their teenagers about mental health. Sounds encouraging, but among teenagers, only 52% say they feel extremely or very comfortable talking about their mental health with a parent. That's a huge gap. The parent thinks, "My child knows they can talk to me." The teenager might be thinking, "I don't even know how to explain what I'm feeling." And sometimes those two people can live under the same roof and still feel worlds apart. And this is where we need to be careful, because the data doesn't say American teenagers are simply miserable. Far from it. Social media can provide connection, creativity, friendships, support. 63% say social media gives them a place to show their creative side, and 52% say they make them feel like they have people who can support them through difficult times. So, perhaps the real story isn't social media is destroying teenagers. It's more complicated. The same technology that can connect a teenager to a friend at midnight can also make them compare their life to hundreds of strangers. The same phone that can provide information can steal sleep. The same platform that gives someone a creative voice can make them feel like they're never good enough. That's the paradox. And maybe that's what makes this so fascinating from a European perspective. America has always been associated with possibility. Go further, work harder, dream bigger, build something, become something. But today's teenagers are growing up in an environment where those expectations don't disappear when school ends. They follow you home. They sit beside you at dinner. They're inside your bedroom. And they're in your pocket. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There is no real closing bell anymore. So perhaps the question isn't, are American teenagers okay? And it isn't, is social media good or bad? The better question is, can we give young people all the opportunities of the modern world without giving them all the pressure at the same time? Because teenagers don't need a perfect world, they need somewhere they can be imperfect. They need people who listen before they judge. They need permission to say, I don't know, I'm struggling, I'm not okay today. And sometimes they simply need an adult to sit down beside them and say, you don't have to have your whole life figured out yet. America is changing, Europe is changing, and childhood is changing with them. The smartphone has given teenagers something previous generations never had, a window into millions of other lives. But perhaps we've forgotten something. A teenager doesn't need millions of people watching them. Sometimes they just need one person who is really listening. And maybe that's the part of American youth culture Europeans weren't expecting to discover. Not weakness, not failure, but a generation trying to grow up in a world that never stops talking. If you enjoy seeing America through a European lens, not just the things that surprise us, but the stories underneath them, subscribe to America Through European Eyes.